Hello, guys. Look who we have here on today. I have with me my digital marketing mentor, Deepak Kanakaraju, or as you all know him fondly, Digital Deepak. Welcome, sir, to this chit chat session.
Thanks a lot, Hemant. So looking forward to have a conversation with you today.
Yes, sir. So, for me, getting to know with Digital Deepak was indeed a life changing experience because I have like scaled up my income as well as my knowledge has also gone up. It's because of his teaching methods which he has used to get this action oriented programming happening with us. So I want to ask Deepak sir, who is the teacher during his school days which inspired him to become an educator?
Very interesting question. So I had a physics teacher when I was in my school. It was like sixth, seventh, eighth standard, and he was one of the most interesting teachers around because he always used to ask small questions to get the words out of us. So I think I learned that the entire concept of anticipation is very important in the learning process. Unless you are anticipating what's coming, it kind of becomes like a game. You kind of create some tension, and then you release that tension by giving that answer. So when you look at stand-up comedy, they use it very well. uh, One of the reasons stand-up comedy can be funny is because they take the conversation in a particular direction, and you have an expectation of the conversation ending at a particular area, but then it suddenly takes a deviation and ends up somewhere else, and that is what creates the concept of humor or comedy itself, right? And that's what makes it more engaging. So for me, it has always been, can you bring the concept of anticipation? Obviously, we are not going to make it funny, but the concept of anticipation of people looking at, okay, what's coming is always going to be an integral part of education, which most people unfortunately don't talk about. They think that it's just about transferring information and disseminating information. Obviously, it's about transferring information, but what is the most effective way to do it? Like, you see that some of the stand-up comedians talk about very important topics and try to send a message, and they try to send the message through the medium of stand-up. So I'm like, can you make the whole education itself a fun anticipation gamified thing to do? So that was my inspiration.
Wonderful, sir. I'm very happy that you had a very active as well as thoughtful mentor to give you the initiation to go on this teaching journey. And it's a thought for all of us. Again, teaching is not about just throwing random information around. It's about making sure that your students can take that knowledge and implement it in their lives. That's when you actually make change in the society around us. Now, again, Deepak sir, what he does is also he has a huge social media interaction. He is also the admin of the world's largest digital marketing group, Learn Digital Marketing. The link I'm putting in the description below. So you guys go ahead and put in your request and be a part of this fantastic group. You can also get to see a bit of gyan coming in from Deepak sir in his frequent posts. One such post during my digital marketing journey, which he put, was the story about his first computer. He asked all of us what his first computer was. So, can you tell me about when you had your first computer, sir?
It was around sixth or seventh standard, and even before that, I was always interested in computers. The first ever computer I saw was in fifth standard, where I forgot the name of that, but it's like you type in a certain command, and there is like this triangle going from one place to another, and then you say up 5, and it goes like 5 pixels up,
Our
and
dear
that,
logo, sir. How could we forget that?
yeah. Yes. So it was like a very bulky computer, and I was in the fifth standard. And since then, I think I had like a huge fascination for computers. My dad's bank, so he was a bank manager in a bank, and his bank got computerized. So there were a bunch of computers coming in, started getting fascinated. And I think somehow my dad always felt or realized that, uh, getting a computer for him might be like the best thing ever. And at that time, he was a salaried employee. He was not like a business person with a lot of income or anything. So he actually took a personal loan to buy a computer. And at that time, the computer was 64,000 rupees, which is still not like a small amount, right? Even in this age. So I got a Pentium 3, and it was called HCL Infinity. Uh, yeah, I think it was a collaboration between. At that time, HCL used to have like physical computers, and it used to have the creative speaker. It had a CD drive. It had a multimedia thing, and it was a 14-inch CRT monitor, 2 GB of hard disk, Pentium 3, 233 megahertz, and I think it was something like 32 MB of RAM or something like that. And Windows 95. It was Windows 95, and since then, so that was my first computer, and I had pretty much learned everything about computers, tinkering around with it, and I think I had a CD of Britannica Encyclopedia. So at that time, you had no internet, so I used to put that Britannia Encyclopedia CD and have like an online encyclopedia with a little bit of animation or something like that. So that was like I was hungry for more information, and obviously until the internet came along, you did not have the internet, and it's very surprising right now that you can use a computer without internet, because it doesn't make any sense anymore. But at that time, for several years, computers were used without internet, right, until the dial-up connection came along. So that's how my journey started, and since then I have had a lot of systems and computers. And right now, fortunate enough to have a good business and income, to have like the best systems ever. I've always invested very well on my computers. I don't compromise on it. The biggest screen, the best display, the best configuration, I'm always going for it. So yeah, that's where I am right now, and it has been a good journey since then. And I think if my dad did not buy me a computer at that time, me being very comfortable with, like today I can touch type because I have been typing on keyboards for such a long time. I can type without looking at the keyboard. And I have worked in a lot of different startups recently, and even coders cannot touch type. They have to look at the keyboard and type. And I was like, just typing along, and the CEO of one of the companies I was working for, like, dude, how can you touch type? Do you like know how to touch type? Did you like learn it? Like, no, I've just been using computers for so long that I can just touch type.
Wonderful, wonderful. Again, Deepak sir's experience almost resonates with my childhood as well. My uncle, after his after he got his PhD degree, he invested actually to get me a computer, and he bought me a Hewlett Packard HP Brio BA600. Again, it's a Windows 98, and it has Pentium 3, 500 megahertz. Again, it was also the first time I'm actually using a computer. And then we also started buying some computer magazines, for example Chip, Digit, and of course Computer Gaming World, which was also a craze at that time. And that's where also a bit of my gaming journey also started. I used to play real-time strategy games. And Deepak sir also just showed us that even during lockdown you can also have a good time, in
Yeah.
which he shared a fantastic post of him playing Doom, right? So
Yeah. In
that was
fact,
also a way in which.
it's interesting that you bring up Chip and Digit magazine, because that's how my whole digital marketing journey started. When I was in 11th and 12th standard, I had a Compaq computer. Like, the brand Compaq does not exist anymore, but that was like one significant upgrade after my schooling days, where it was like pretty good system, still a CRT monitor. And that's where I got my dial-up connection and everything. But the internet speed was not good enough to download games online, right? So I used to buy these Chip magazines and Digit magazines, so that it came with a free trial of a lot of games. I used to just buy it for the free trial of the games. And I started playing games like Age of Empires, Red Alert, and all those strategy games. I've never played World of Warcraft much, but Age of Empires and Red Alert I used to play extensively. And then obviously you have the usual suspects like Grand Theft Auto and stuff. And since I kept buying those magazines, I was reading about Google AdSense in one of the magazines. That's when I learned that you can start making money online. And I created my first Blogspot blog and put AdSense quotes on it, and that's how the entire journey started. Sorry to interrupt, you were saying something. Yeah.
No, that was very interesting indeed, because again, from those magazines, it's another take home point that back then when we had access to those magazines, we also used to read up all those content coming in the magazines, because reading them also, the content presented in those magazines was very illustrative and informative manner also. The style of writing in them very engaging. So for anyone who seeks knowledge, you are instantly getting captivated by the content there. And right now you are going to hear from how Deepak sir started on his blogging journey and how he was introduced to Google Answers. Anyway, you got the lucky edition of Chip, okay? Because those editions, I think I stopped buying maybe that edition of Google Answers. So talk us through about how you read about Google Answers and got to know about the first steps on the blogging journey.
So I started a Blogspot blog. I put some AdSense codes on it, and I kept clicking my own ads because the balance was going up, and my AdSense account got banned. And then I was like, okay, this is not gonna work, obviously. So I got placed in an IT company in 2007, and I graduated in 2008, and I did civil engineering. So at that time, obviously, it was recession time, and nobody called honored the offer letter. So the calling letter came, joining letter came by 2009. So I had like 1 year of free time, and 1 year of guilt-free free time, because it's not like I'm being idle at home. I'm actually having a job offer in hand. I'm just waiting for the company to call me. So from 2008 to 2009, that 1 year of time gave me a lot of time to experiment with things. So that's when I started the blog bikeadvice.in, especially because I was interested in bikes. And for 6 months, I was not putting any AdSense codes or trying to monetize it. And when it had significant traffic, so I learned WordPress. I joined a course called Blog Mastermind, and it taught me how to install WordPress, how to publish content, how to get it on indexed on Google, and all those things. So the entire journey started with that, and until 2012, I was running that blog. And 2013 is when I started Digital Deepak after selling the motorcycle blog, because I figured out that motorcycle blog is not something that I'm going to continuously scale. The income, traffic, AdSense revenue kind of started getting saturated at a particular point. So that's how the entire journey started. And I think the highest record of the number of sessions or visitors on a single day is still held by my previous blog, Bike Advice. I had 44,000 sessions on a single day when it was Auto Expo. And in the Auto Expo, there were like 11 new bikes launched at that time. And I wrote like article about all the different bikes on the same day of Auto Expo, and so many people were searching about it. So I think that was the highest traffic day on a single day until this point. Like Digital Deepak, I've still not crossed 10,000 in a single day.
Guys, look at this. So this is, we are talking about a time like 2011, 2011 Auto Expo or to 2012.
2012 Auto Expo.
Look at this 2012 Auto Expo. Just imagine, who would have thought of that? 2012 Auto Expo, people were looking for something informative and they found it online. And when they found it online, it's a source of information. It's a source of valuable information, because Deepak sir is not just writing about bikes after searching other information on the internet. He actually goes there, he reviews the bikes by test riding them, and after doing the test ride only, Deepak sir is actually putting out his reviews out there. So it's an authoritative review after having done work on, having done a test ride on the bike, and then his own feedback and his own input on the. So it's this creative input which is needed for every new blog. When you're putting out new information, you should put out your creative side into it. Only then will people find value in that information, and will people want to solicit you for their services. So that's one way in which Deepak sir got started on his digital marketing journey. And then here now comes up the journey, his first foreign trip. Can you tell us a bit about this frightening experience and when you first went abroad, away from India?
Yeah. So actually, the first foreign trip was 2008, where I went to US for a Rotary Club program. But again, that was not something that I did it on my own. I obviously went with a group, and I was taken care of there and everything. That was not like a professional thing. My second trip was to the China, and I went to this city called Chongqing, where a lot of motorcycles used to be manufactured. So at that time, all these Bike India, Autocar, Overdrive, all these magazines which are very popular right now, did not have an online presence. And the Chinese government invited a motorcycle journalist from every country that they know. So they invited one from US, one from Germany, one from Spain, one from England, one from Canada. And when they were looking for someone to invite from India, I was the one that they found online, because they were searching for like motorcycle blogs online, and they sent me an invite. So I almost missed the entire trip because my visa got processed in the last minute. Tuesday evening was my flight, and Monday morning is when I got my visa approved. Because my travel agent said that he couldn't do it in the last minute, and I had to go to Delhi myself, because this was like a different type of visa. I had to submit the documents myself. And even in Delhi, I went there, and then they said I cannot pay cash. I have to give a DD. And I went to HDFC Bank, and they said that to get a DD, you need a checkbook. And I said I don't have the checkbook. And then I requested the manager to issue a DD by doing a direct debit somehow. So it was, everything was like on the razor's edge, but somehow I made it. I went to China. They had like a huge reception. They had one person who was always with me, who is like an interpreter, and he would talk in English as well as in Chinese. And then I met, so the person from US was the editor in chief of motorcycle.com. That's how important this was. So I was just hanging out with very big editors and everything, and I'm like, I'm the motorcycle editor or journalist from India. So they took us to factories. We went inside factories. We looked at the assembly line of motorcycles. We went to a motocross race that was happening there at that time, and that was like a pretty intense experience at such a young age. And I was just, it was just 2009, and it helped me
Yeah, you had
understand the power
completed
of
your
belonging.
civil engineering at that time.
Yeah, I completed in 2008. This was in
Okay,
2009.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
this would have been a cool industrial tour, My God.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in fact, the entire assembly line that I saw was the first time I saw like an actual real assembly line, and they would have all the parts manufactured and ready for the motorcycles. And we started our walk at one end of the assembly line, and it's almost like a half a kilometer walk until you go to the other side. And in the assembly line where the belt was there, so there will be like so many people standing until the end of the assembly line, and all those parts would keep feeding, and people would assemble small parts in the beginning, and then there will be a section where people are engraving the logo on the engine. They are like putting the engine together, and then they are putting the entire, all the parts together towards the end of the assembly line. And then there is a guy who is just starting the motorcycle and going and parking it in the godown. So you see small parts being started here, and you see an actual motorcycle getting ready towards the end of the assembly line as you walk there. And it's like every 15 minutes there is a new motorcycle. He's starting it, going and parking it in the godown. He's coming back, another motorcycle is ready. So that is how China makes stuff, right? So that was like pretty mind blowing to see in person. In fact, I have a video of it on the Bike Advice channel as well. We should put it in the description below of the entire
Yes, I'll
assembly line.
definitely put that in the link in the description below because, so this is like a heartwarming experience. So Deepak sir consistently blogged on bikeadvice.in, and because of the value he provided, he was selected. And of course, he had the advantage of being the sole player in the market. But then it's also an opportunity for any aspiring blogger who's listening to this interview that if you put out your content with enough value, and if you provide the information in the right manner, then you are going to be respected by people in your niche, and you are going to be having a large following. And people who want to work with you, they'll approach you. That's how exactly Deepak sir scaled up with bikeadvice.in. And of course, now bikeadvice.in is being handled by someone else, as sir mentioned previously. So it's time to now meet the real man, who I don't know. Let's start with his first steps in the digital marketing journey. Let's look at how digitaldeepak.com got started, and the first steps that you decided on, what to blog on, and what topics that you should be actually what articles you should be posting out there. So what was your core area of focus when you started off digitaldeepak.com?
So when I started Digital Deepak, the idea was that I will just add it as a add-on to my resume, so that if my resume says that it has a blog in it, and if I have written a few articles in the blog, my resume will definitely have a priority compared to other resumes. So I just wanted a digital marketing job, and at that time, I had a digital marketing job as well. I was hired as a digital marketing solutions consultant in a very big agency, and I was handling clients. And NIIT was the first education company to come up with a digital marketing certification course. And I was thinking maybe I should join that course also. Anyway, I started this blog because blogging is something that is very close to me, and I wanted to keep myself engaged. I didn't think that I could compete with the Neil Patels of the world in terms of traffic, but the idea was that, why don't we start something? Because I was bored, I wanted to write something on the side, and I wrote some pretty deep articles there. So I was jumping from job to job until 2016, until 2017, early 2017. I was in different jobs while I was in Bangalore, and what I realized was that if you do something consistently over a long period of time, it starts showing results. It need not be a lot of intensity. So Digital Deepak, even if you go and look at the monthly archives right now, it's just some 2 articles or 3 articles every month, but it was done over a period of 5, 6 years. As I went through all the jobs, as I went through a lot of personal issues, I kept publishing like 1 or 2 articles every month very consistently, because I enjoyed the process of writing. And it's also like, most of us do not start something new because there is a voice in our head which says otherwise. Change is uncomfortable, and we don't go ahead and change things, right? So those stories that you tell yourself, which prevents you from uh, getting that critical initial momentum to get going, right, are the most important. Like, you have to listen to them. And for me, I've always not taken that voice inside my mind very seriously, which says that you don't do this, you might put yourself in trouble, or whatever the lizard brain says that, don't do this, which change is uncomfortable and prevents us from taking the most important decisions that we do in our life, right? Like quitting a job, starting something new. I think more than trying to pat myself on the back of having taken initiative and having done things and having had the willpower to do something, I feel all of us have that natural tendency anyway. We all of us want some excitement and want to do new things, but we end up listening to that voice and end up believing that, and it keeps getting postponed. Like, I have so many friends who have been wanting to start something new, like a business or something, like forever, like for the past 10 years, but they have not got out of their comfort zone and started something. So that is how the journey started. And 2016 is when I started selling courses on my blog, and that is when everything changed, because once I had my own product, then I was able to scale the revenue, and once the revenue scaled, I was able to put it back into advertising, which eventually led to starting Pixel Track, which is the agency. And we had our own experiences in handling a lot of different clients, serving them, learning from that experience, making a lot of mistakes with hiring, going through a lot of pain. And then eventually we started focusing more on training. And yeah, and also the training also went through a lot of different phases on how we structure the courses, how we sell. And right now it eventually led to it was like a natural progression to start this internship program, where it kind of becomes the most sticky learning method ever done.
Yes, and that fateful email came. When did you send it? November end or December middle? I
December
think this.
4th is when I launched the first program, first
Mm-hmm.
batch.
So I'll just tell you a story about this email. Right that time, I had purchased Deepak Sir's Mastery Bundle, and I was all set going about my 100-day blogging course. I purchased my domain, I purchased hosting service, and I was like ready setting up the blog and all that. And then suddenly Deepak Sir comes up with an internship program in which Sir offers a very attractive bundle. And the most intriguing part was, you're getting coached by the man himself. So Deepak sir is going to actually give you actionable assignments that are going to add value, and at the same time you can execute them. So there was a huge bonus being getting live coached by Deepak sir itself. And also then another attractive package that I felt was the assignment structure, in which the assignments, after you complete the assignment successfully and you submit them, then The Pixel Track team will evaluate our assignments and give us a constructive feedback. With that constructive feedback, then we can move on, push on further. And this constructive feedback is what actually helped me make my first money out of digital marketing. And I perfected my website such that I'm positioning myself as an online tutor, as you know. And it's, in fact, I started getting customers who wanted me to take private tuition for their children. So that was the small connection mismatch that happened, but nevertheless it's still a revenue, right? Because they still wanted my services out of the small WordPress website that I've just set up. And that's where, what's particular about this website is particular about this internship program is that if you implement those steps, you're guaranteed to make money. So the point is, it's only your internal fear, which Sir was talking about all his friends who couldn't actually, realize their dreams, set out on their journey, because there are forces all around us that are always consistently dragging you to the safe spot. Like, go for a government job, go for a desk job, go for what should I say, a cushy job, some all kinds of terminologies flying around around everywhere here. And I realized I resonate with Deepak sir when he said that, because I have several friends of mine who also went for these cushy jobs and all. But they always, when we meet up over drinks, or when we meet up over dinners or something, that's when they actually tell us, hey man, you're lucky, you are actually teaching, you are doing something which you love. Deepak sir is also doing something what he loves. That's the point. When you chase your passion and when you have a desire to actually give value to people, that's when you actually have a purpose, a meaning in life. And that's exactly what this internship program has empowered me to do, because I'm going to go all ahead on this journey. And it's all thanks to Deepak sir and his internship program that I've been empowered to set out with full guns blazing on this internship journey. I thank you so much, sir, for this and so this tremendous opportunity you have provided me.
Great. Glad to hear that, Hemant. And I think if you have any other one or two questions, then we will wind up this interview.
Yes, because my next question again, because that paragraph you spoke about internal fears of your friends is very powerful, because I find myself at a loss when some students come to me. For example, in my tutoring program itself, some students come to me and they come up with their own challenges, and I find myself at a loss of words on how to motivate them, because they want to know something, that they are, again, all of these people are looking for the magic pill, that one magic solution. And when I'm trying to bring out the words to say there is no magic solution, I don't want to sound negative, I don't want to discourage them, but I want to give them the opportunity that there is hope if you rewire your mindset, and if you bring out the right approach into online tutoring, then you can also become successful in this niche. So that's the mindset that I want to actually convey to whoever is coming into as a student for me. The same way, what is your advice for digital marketers, or for example bloggers, even people who are cooking up all kinds of excuses just not to start a new blog? What advice do you have for them to do during such troubling times?
So I think it's very hard to put yourself in a position where you will take action consistently. For that, I am also planning to start a blogging internship program where people can publish a blog post, and for every blog post they publish, they are going to get a cashback. But at the same time, the idea is that you build some momentum, and the momentum will give you motivation. Which means that for the first month, let's say you have a target that you should publish at least 10 articles. So you start a new blog, publish 10 articles, and don't ask for anything guaranteed in return. There might be nothing that comes out of it. That is the risk. But that is the risk you have to take. And you are not risking your money, you are just risking your time, which is completely fine. So go ahead and do it. And there are plenty of information available online where people can learn how to start a blog and publish articles and everything. So we also have this project called High Traffic Blog, where we are starting a new blog from scratch and growing it day in and day out. So uh, like people will say, I'm not an expert. Will people read my article? You will never know until you write and put it out there. Maybe people will read your article, and there is something that you will learn out of the experience anyway. So people should go ahead and do it. That is the idea. Yeah.
So this is again what I also try to tell my students. It's always action. Action only breeds results. The price of inaction is you can scroll endlessly on WhatsApp, you can forward something, and you can have some instant gratification. And it's not an instant gratification which builds results. It's delayed gratification, because you put in effort, you put in that sweat, then the results will follow. It's only your effort and your smart work that's going to give you the results in the long run. So I am in this journey for the long run only. I am in it all the way. Same way, Deepak sir is also into creating 100,000 digital marketers in India. And I'm proud to say that he is doing a very successful start at that. So if you guys are interested in signing up with Digital Deepak, you definitely should join, because this will be a transformational experience for you to learn from the top digital marketing gurus in India, a person who has lived through it all, and wants to share it with you guys, because this guy is an open book, as you just seen right now. So this is one of the best opportunities that you will have during this lockdown period, in which, when this video was recorded, we were in a lockdown due to the COVID-19 outbreak. During this time, we we are at this opportunity where we can learn new skills, where we can implement those skills out there. And that's why I recommend that you guys sign up with whatever programs Deepak sir is going to be bringing out right now. Just I got a rumor that the blogging internship program is coming out, dedicated to all bloggers who want to start out on this journey. And this is not just an English language blogging internship. I guarantee you that vernacular languages are hot. So if you want to blog in your vernacular language, that's perfectly fine. Take the lessons from this program and you implement it in a vernacular blog. You're going to be making great money. That's a given fact for that. So that's all about it for this interview, sir. I think yeah, you wanted me to share some experiences about
I
this
think that's
internship
about it.
program and anything else.
So that's about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to have interviewed Deepak sir, and presented my content, presented got out some very useful nuggets for him. So during these testing times, it's always important that we have action and we bring out the best version of ourselves, instead of spending endless time on in the media, just in the name of instant gratification. That's when you're going to be producing actionable results out there for the people around you. So let's learn digital marketing with Digital Deepak. Let's learn online tutoring with Ask Hemu. Take care, guys. Thank you, Deepak sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I will see you around. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.